Shalom. First and foremost, we're going to give all praise and honor and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. We want to give double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone who move on T12, and we want to say Shalom to the hopeful elect. All right, and we back another day, all right, to prophesy the downfall of America, man. Because the downfall of America, all right, is what is going to lead us into the kingdom. If somebody get Daniel 2:44. And if whatever y'all got, it's going to coincide with that, you know, because we want the kingdom of our Lord Yahweh Shai to reign in this place, man. Because within the kingdom, all right, there's going to be righteousness, man. Within the kingdom, there's going to be laws, statutes, and commandments put in our inward parts, and we're going to be as God, as the scripture says that we are. In Psalms 82nd chapter.
It's going to be the book of Daniel, chapter 2, and verse 44, and it reads, "And in the days of these kings shall the power of heaven set up a kingdom, which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever."
All right, that's what Daniel told Nebuchadnezzar, all right, because Nebuchadnezzar had a dream that terrified him, all right, and within that statue, all right, we are the last portion of that statue, man. We are ushering in the kingdom of Yahweh Shai by coming out here prophesying the downfall of America, man. All right, the kingdom of the Lord is not going to be left to other people, meaning that nobody's ever going to take over the Yahweh Shai's seat, all right, or take over his kingdom to set up their bullshit ass kingdom, man. Where kingdoms that will be kingdoms that will push forth wickedness throughout the earth, man. I.e., example, look at Babylon, look at the Greeks, and look at the Romans, man. Okay. We are living in a time where those individuals are reincarnated and they have pushed forth wickedness throughout the earth. Does anybody have a precept or they want to make a point? All right, okay. Okay, can you finish that?
I'll read it again. All right, it says, Daniel 2:44, "And in the days of these kings shall the power of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great power hath made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter. And the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof certain."
Yeah, because whenever Yahweh Shai comes back, he's coming back at an overwhelming power. Like in Exodus 15:3, it tells you that Yahweh is a man of war. John 10:30, Yahweh Shai said, "I and my Father are one." When Yahweh Shai comes back, he's gonna come back. He's gonna be the conquering lion. He's gonna completely stomp out all the different kings of the earth. All that power is gonna be translated to Yahweh Shai. So the kingdom of heaven is gonna stand forever. It's not gonna diminish ever. We're gonna the Yahweh Shai had it to where Yahweh Shai was the first and the last. He was the first Adam. Also that last Adam. Adam went to the ways of death. He was quickened. He was revived again. You know what I mean? So through Adam, the death came, but through Yahweh Shai, the second Adam, who was also called the Son of God, now that life is here. And through that life, man, Romans chapter 8, we're gonna be like he is. In the same way how Yahweh Shai has been immortalized, he's in a glorified body right now. He's immortal. And that's who these elites are afraid of too, man. It tells you in the book of Revelation, the 6th chapter, that all these different elites in these different bunkers, they're hiding there for the fear of the Lamb. It's not from the World War III is coming, the nukes is coming. They're not afraid of you people, man. They're afraid of the Lamb.
That's right. Can we get 2 Corinthians 13 chapter? Because that's talking about that stone, which is the outside, because he's the actual cornerstone. Did you have something? Oh, go ahead. Bring it out, man. Bring it out. You can start at the top. Yeah, because this is ushering in the kingdom when Yahweh Shai comes and puts these other nations at his feet. All right, then you'll understand that the Lord is bringing forth his kingdom like we read in Daniel the 2nd chapter. Go ahead, you got it. Anybody else?
It's going to be 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 1. "And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven."
In the book of Titus, I believe, all right, and where it says that I believe it was Enoch that was prophesying that in the book of Titus, around the 13th, 14th verse. So that's backing up what it is that Ezra is saying, that the Lord is coming with thousands of angels. He's coming to give destruction on his place to usher in his kingdom to life.
It says, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him.
Hey, yes. Did you have a point?
So Yahweh's power is written that every knee shall bow.
Yep.
And every tongue shall confess. Now, right now,
No, go ahead.
right now, there's people who are prideful talking about, hey, man, whenever the Lord returns, I'm not going to bow. I don't bow to nobody. Matter of fact, going back to 2017, it was the time me and his brother was preaching. It was a so-called black woman, one that was Eve, who was beguiled by the serpent by the so-called white man. And he said, excuse me, and that woman said, if Yahweh came back, she was slapped. And when Yahweh comes back, the presence of this man's strength, it's the reason Esau's horror. Esau got nukes, lasers, he's terrified, man. Just the very power is going to force everything under you to tremble, man. It's written, every eye shall see him, every knee shall bow. Well, what about the animals? The animals going to stop and look at him. You know, everything that see Yahweh is going to tremble. Because that's over otherworldly powers. And that's what the Bible's talking about. That inheritance in I want to say, Matthew 13th chapter, speaking of the earth, man. And Yahweh told you, hey, the wicked man is chilling whenever he's taking advantage of the people. But when a stronger man than he comes, spoils his good, what's he going to do? And that stronger man than you is Yahweh. He told you he's coming back from the heavens with the holy host of his angels. Right?
No. So yeah. Philippians, right? This is Philippians chapter 2, and I'm gonna start at verse 8. Wherefore Yahweh also hath highly exalted him. Now I'm gonna start at 6. This is Philippians 2 and 6. Who being in the form of the Most High thought it not robbery to be equal with the Most High, but made himself of no reputation, and took upon him the form of a servant, and was made in the like manner, in the likeness of men.
Took upon the form of a servant, because the greatest quality of a leader should be serving, man.
Yeah.
Really, and because of a true leader leads by example. You know, and Yahweh said that he didn't come to be ministered unto, but to minister.
Yeah. To serve.
Because Yahweh also spoke about the authority and the lordship of the Gentiles. Like with the Gentiles, they have a thing called bosses.
I'm sorry. Did you have a question? I'm gonna hear What's up? You had a dream about it? What was in your dream? Do you know what this is representative of? So this is representative of the beast system in which we live in right now. The beast system, right? This dragon, okay, is a man that was formed. It's a man, right? But at the beginning of the garden, he was a snake, all right? So this man, he turned into a dragon, all right? He turned into a dragon by way of his kingdom that he set up, okay? You heard of the Spanish Empire, the German, the Greek, the major and minor Germania, the British Empire. You should learn these things. You should have learned these things in school, all right?
It's going to be the book of Revelation, chapter 12, and I started at verse 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels.
All right, so that dragon represents a man, okay? And that man is the so-called white man, okay? These are all his kingdoms that he has set up throughout the ages of time since he came into rulership during the Greek period, okay? All right? Did you have something?
Yeah. And then whenever the Messiah comes out, now these people right here, man, the Bible, they're called Edomites. In the time of the Romans, they were known as Idumeans. Like there was do you know about Herod the Great? Herod the Great was also known as Herod the Idumean. And that whole line of people, and everyone knows that the Romans, were so-called white people, right? Well, since the time of the Romans, now they have legions of armies such as, instead of a spear, now they have the gun. Instead of the fight lance, now they have the tank. And they develop lasers, and all those things because they're getting ready for the war in heaven with Michael and his angels. So now at a time period where the war in heaven is possible, now they have actual space, aircraft, spacecraft. Now that war in heaven is talking about up there in the sky. That's right. So now that war is possible. Keep it going. It says, and the dragon prevailed not, neither was their place. So the dragon right here says, neither was their place. But it's speaking about one dragon. So what does it mean by their place? That dragon is going to tell you later on that dragon is a whole nation of people. The They replaced it because this dragon, through being a dragon, Revelation 13 talks about how they breathe down fire on people and destroy them. So Kawhi been bombing people, telling that all the time. Yeah. And this dragon, we're gonna read it right now. Yeah. Revelation chapter 12 and verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan. So this dragon is that same old serpent from the garden. It's also called devil and Satan. It's all one being. And what that shows you is that serpent in the garden was no actual snake. And that word serpent is serpent in the Hebrew. And when you read it in Genesis, the root word is nakash, which means a wizard or a wicked man. So now that wicked man, now they went from a small serpent in the garden to now they own everything. That's why all these different music industries, there's always a pentagram somewhere. There's always they promote everything anti-God to be a slut. So,
can you church? What church? This is the church right here. The church is the assembly of the people. The scriptures say in Acts, the Lord doesn't dwell in temples made with hands. So a building is a temple that is made with hands. But the Lord built this temple. Right? So your body, but more specifically, the church, the assembly of the Israelites, that's the church. Do you see yourself on this sign? Which one? No. Okay, so yes, but when I say do you see yourself on this? Oh, okay, Ashley. Okay. All right, you're from the tribe of Ashley, right? So you're an Israelite, all right? So the thing that you must do as an Israelite, right? That's the thing right there, you know? All right, do you have a man? So what you must do as an Israelite woman is learn and subjection under your man. Now your man, he may be with you, but you can come out here and still learn from these men, right? But the most important thing that you gotta do is to change your ways to repent. You know what I'm saying? So let's say if you, for example, you eat pork, you gotta stop eating pork. That's an example of repenting because can somebody get a Leviticus, the 11th chapter where it speaks on pork being an abomination? And I don't know. No, I don't. I don't have one. But you got a phone, right?
You can go on your phone. So, if you want to find us on YouTube, all you gotta do is look up GMS Israelites.
Yeah, great little stories. But can we get that? Can somebody bring that out?
God, so
it should be like the 7th verse.
God. So this is Leviticus 11 and verse 7, and it says, "In the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you."
So the animals, right? The Lord, everything is set up in order because the Lord is about perfect order. So even when it comes down to how you should dress as a person, all right, and what it is that you eat, all right. So if the animal divides the hoof, right, which is good, right, and chews the cud, which is grass, those things that we can eat. But if the animal divides the hoof, right, or the foot is divided, but it doesn't does not chew the cud, such as a pig, because it doesn't eat meat. Now pig eats anything. You know what I'm saying? If you throw a dead body into a pig pen, the pigs are going to devour that body. All right, so you got to eat things that are lawful, and the pig is not lawful. So my example is saying, if you do that, you got to stop doing that eating pork because that's an abomination to the Lord. Right? There's a whole list of things that we must try to do, and we're not always going to be perfect. But the most important thing that you must do is have faith in the Lord because your faith is what's going to save you. Yeah, but it's more than 10 commandments. It's 613 commandments. Yes, so we can't keep all those laws. It's not possible. For one, the Lord didn't put it in our spirit to remember all those laws. Two, you can't, let's say if a woman was a homosexual or a man was a homosexual, by the law, you're supposed to put that homosexual man and or woman to death to stop that disease of homosexuality spreading throughout the nation of your people. But you can't do that here. You can't do that here because you got gay pride this and gay pride that, you got transsexual this and transsexual that. And all that stuff is heavily populated throughout the world because of the wine and the philosophy and the doctrines of the beast, which is the so-called white man. And yeah, he was a serpent like the brother read, but now he's a dragon because he grew. All right, just like if you have a son from your man, right, your man is going to have your son is going to have other kids, and they're going to grow. Y'all brothers got to do something. I don't want to talk.
It's going to be 1 Peter chapter 2. And I'll start at verse 25. For ye were as sheep going astray, but are now returned unto the shepherd and bishop of your souls. know, and everybody go on the sign, like in the book of Second Thessalonians, the Apostle Paul spoke about there will be a great falling away before the day of the Lord. And what happened? Because with going back in Rome, a lot of the disciples, like whenever you read Acts chapter 1, verse 6, many of the disciples truly believed that the kingdom of heaven would come back then. I said Acts chapter 1, verse 6. And that verse was going into the disciples were asking back then that the kingdom of Israel would be restored and will upon the earth. But they didn't understand that our people right now, the whole nation of Israel, so like Negroes and Latino, North American Indians, back in Rome, the Apostle Paul, he was like, man, I'm trying to Benjamin. Israelites, sometimes they did. You know, he was like, nah, hey, before this happened, there has to be a great falling away. So what happened? We all as sheep were led astray. We were led into Islam, Christianity. We were blacks, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans. We've been dyeing our hair blonde, skinny jeans, sagging our pants. We've been calling ourselves thugs and real niggas, bad bitches. But ultimately, what truthfully is that we were gone astray. Now we return to the principle of our souls. Now we understand that we're actually Israelites. We're not just black. We're not just Puerto Rican. Those things the Bible was put on us because of the curse. And that curse has to be because our forefathers entered the heavenly realms. Now we're being returned.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Here, I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna give you this. You take this. You use that. Right? That's a powerful weapon right there. Right? I can use it on my phone. Huh? I'm sorry. You got to speak up. I can't hear you. Oh, look, I can barely hear you speaking so low. What did the king say again? Request? So you want us to put up a prayer for those things? Oh, no. We ain't dealing with that. That's the only book we're dealing with right there. The Holy Bible. That's the only book we're dealing with right there. We don't deal with any other book because there's a scripture in the Bible. I think it's in where it says that, you know what it is? The making of many books.
That's this. I got this.
Okay. Go ahead. Yes, go ahead. Yeah. Hey, read that, man. Okay. All right. I can use my phone.
It's gonna be Isaiah 34 and verse 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail, nor shall one her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit hath gathered them. So it says, seek ye out the book of the Lord and read. So you know, we might study some other book or something, but ultimately we're dealing with the Holy Scriptures. Because no one of these things shall fail, and that's the reason why we subscribe ourselves to the Bible. The Bible is the only book in the world that contains prophecy that's been going completely on point every single time. Joel 3, going to the sub-Saharan slave trade 1,000 years before it happened. You have the dragon speaks about the RFID chip system and the Neuralink system that we're seeing be implemented right now. So no one of these things shall fail or want her mate, and we're seeing the fruition of it right now. Like I want to say, someone knows where it's at, how should I get it? But it says at the end it shall speak. The vision is yet for an appointed time.
Hey, but if you really want to learn, right, great Millstone, all right, great Millstone, CMS, just get on YouTube, great Millstone, all right. You got the San Antonio brothers, you got brothers everywhere, right? And then if you got time, you come out here and listen to these men. They in your city. You get what I'm saying? Every Sunday they
Every Sunday at noon.
All right, okay, and you gotta keep your word, all right? But since we was all everywhere, brothers got precepts that they want to come up. You got that? Okay.
It's going to be Habakkuk 2 in chapter 2, verse 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch and see what he will say unto me, and what shall I answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Meaning that all of these things, man, are going to come to pass, as the brothers were saying. All right, everything that we're saying and that we're reading from this book and prophesying is called the word prophecy means to say before, man. All right, that's why the prophets we're called prophets, man. All right, meaning messengers sent out. All right, we're sent out to say these things before they happen, man. And everything we've been saying from the apostles and elders on down has been coming to fruition, man. All right, race wars, riots, man. All right, World War III is coming. Martial law is coming, man. Martial law is actually already here, man. All right, and
have it in Australia.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, and that's coming to America, man. They have the National Guard evicted people, man. All right, in certain cities. Okay.
In America, in the land of the free, you got the National Guard going through and saying, hey, you got to get your ass out of here, man.
That's right.
In unmarked vehicles, 20 deep, going to with guns, going to evict people. Yeah, so that martial law, like the brother said, is already here. And that word martial, just like martial arts, it means the warlike. So the warlike law, which in war, what's liable to happen? Soldiers can go into your home. Yeah. You know what I mean? Which in America, they're not with it. There's a search warrant, busting and shit.
Well, shit, they don't even need that. They got the HR 6666 bill, man.
Right.
You know, where now they could just go to your home. All right, oh, you're not vaccinated. You just got COVID, or you were in contact with COVID. Now we got to take you or your kids away, man. All right, they passed that bill last year.
You know why? Forget about that shit. Yep. Because it gets put out of the news. This is why they forget about it. I even cut off on it, but they forget about it because it gets put out of the news and everything is opening back up, so to speak, with the TV and the sports and all that. And they forget about that HR 666 bill until the white man come busting in your door taking your kids away.
Well, another reason they forgot about it is because during around that time, I believe it's the Pentagon actually confirmed the existence of so-called UFOs, man. You know, so they're distracting people right and left, man.
But definitely, Esau understands that most people, first of all, most people on the earth are very, very low level thinkers. And he also understands that even for a very high level thinker, that's why all the celebrities and billionaires, Steve Jobs said that the nigga who made the iPad said he wouldn't even let his kid get an iPad. His project brings too much shit going on. You know what I mean? And Esau, what he does is he got you with the phone, when you at work, TV, radio, he just constantly throwing shit. And in your mind, you're like, oh, it's just this and that going on. But there's ways your brain is constantly reading shit all day, constantly trying to decipher shit all day. And so what's happening to people on Earth, especially in America, it's supposed to be the greatest place ever. Everyone's worn out, stressed, talking about mental illnesses, because everybody's brain is so constantly. Esau just throwing shit at you. Watching TV, man, especially don't be on YouTube during Pride Month, man. Your fucking ass pop up, big ass nigga twerking. You sitting watching SpongeBob with your sister. There's a nigga with some blue hair and some lipstick on. People are exhausted, man. I don't want to
We coming.
Psalm 33, verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O power, Jehovah, see thou sign. O hold not thy peace, and be not still. O Yahweh, verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumble, and they that hate thee have lift up their head.
They make a tumble and they lift up their head. They're getting prideful against us, man. You know, they're making a tumult. They're gathering together, man. They gather together every year at the UN, all right, to talk about peace about the other nations, but not peace for these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. All right, because ultimately that's what they do, man. They get together to make sure that you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans stay at the bottom, man. Because these heathens are not for you, all right?
Verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
That's right. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, man. All right, being crafty isn't just doing shit, man. Being crafty is planning things out. All right, knowing how it's gonna affect these people, man. They run these tests all the time, man. All right, now they're trying to get bribe people to take the jab, man. Now they're trying to bribe people to take this vaccine. All right, that way they get you under that spell, man. You know. And now they're talking about, oh well, if you don't get that jab, you don't get the vaccine, man. There's gonna be a dark winter. All right, well, before last year, or at the beginning of this year, man, all right, Joe Biden said that there was going to be a dark winter. So that just goes to show you that their agenda, man. What are they planning, man? They're planning to keep you so-called Americans, you people, man, at the bottom, man. They're planning to kill you off, to put you in these concentration camps.
Yeah, and that's a very crafty counsel, and even going to lose situation like that, if we can get Michael the second chapter, personally, man, is heritage. Because what these Edomites have done, they've taken very crafty counsel. They understand everything they're doing. They teach you psychology in school, so they understand how the mind works. Yeah, Michael too. You know, I was watching a video by Lord Rothschild himself, man. He was giving a presentation, and the whole video, all he's talking about is, oh, my family is so smart. My family is so wealthy. We have so much money. We built this. Look at this thing we did. Oh yeah, we're so smart. My great ancestor did this, did that. So they really care about their family, man. They take pride in their family. At the same time, through their system, they tell you, oh, you gotta, man, take time out from your family to make time for your career. Yeah, you deserve to work for us, man. Yeah, and then what happened? They had the man in the house rule. They took the men out the house and they told our woman, hey, look, bitch, I'll buy you a house. Give me that nigga. I'll give you hungry. I get some food, bitch. Food that's called. And then took it even a step further. He was like, man, now the man's out the way. Now this woman sitting there, she's sucking 10 dicks every fucking week, every day. Now every day, you know. These children are put up in the head because different niggas keep coming around. These women will tell you, oh, I need somebody to teach my son how to be a man. Fuck that. Ain't no other nigga won't go on and come and teach you this. Yeah. You know? So now he destroyed that. Esau said, you know what? I'm going to teach their kids how to be big. So they're all about their family. Their family's tight. They love their family. When it comes to you, they're like, we got to bring these people up. In Proverbs chapter 6, Proverbs 16, Yahweh said that 6 things that he finds an abomination is one who causes discord among brethren. We're supposed to be a nation of people, and so white men, oh no, sacrifice sons, you gotta be with us. Corporate nationalism. Corporate nationalism is the belief that the reason why we exist is not our beliefs don't matter, but we exist to work for the system. Yeah, so it don't matter what you think God put you here for, to raise a family and to be sovereign. No, you're gonna get a social security card and work. No slavery. That's a very careful council. This is a global system. They took a very careful. They thought about this, man. They go to the meetings every year. Hey, everything going good? Are there any red flags? No, okay. And there is. They say, okay, how can we fix it? Okay. How can we keep more pressure on the people? Hey, keep on reading that in Psalm 33.
They consulted against thy hated ones. Verse 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
They said, let us cut them off from being a nation. Look at you so-called Negroes and Latinos now, black people. Ain't no fucking nation. A whole culture, man. That's a black pit. That's a pit of death, man. A cycle of death. You know, glorifying shooting niggas and fucking nigga bitch. But then someone do it to you and your people. Now it's issue. Oh, nigga, now it's up there. A cycle of death. And you so-called Negroes and Latinos learned that from who? The so-called white man. Because going back in the time of manifest destiny, you lost your heritage. Indian boarding school, they beat your heritage out of you. What's your name, boy? It's Kunta Kinte. No, it's Toby. So everything you know now, all this second your pen shit, they beat that shit into you, man. They set up your different leaders, man. Martin Luther King's picture with the Rothschild, and his real name was Michael. And his true name was Michael King. And then the person writing his speeches was the fucking Jewish people, man. The Edomites. Malcolm X, all these different people, man, they've been steering you so-called Negroes and Latinos into directly where they want you, which is being destroyed. Now you're a whole nation of baby mamas and sluts and slut makers, man.
I got this book. It's called Black Indians, right? And to back the brother up on the systematic destruction, when he was speaking about the school system, how during the manifest destiny, and how the Indian boarding schools rejects also our heritage. This is just a little quick picture. I'm gonna show it to the camera. It's a book called Black Indians. It shows you right here that you got Jake, all right, in the boarding school, and it says the early Rhode Island school for Afro Americans and Native Americans sought to bring European ways to both people. So if I bring your ways from my country or my nation to you, what am I doing unto you? I'm stripping you of your heritage. I'm stripping you of what it is that you learned or should be learning as a man of or woman of descent from the Israelites. And the things that we are supposed to learn and or should be learning is the ways of our power, not the ways of the European men, not the ways of the so-called white men. So like,
man. So the ways that we're supposed to be learning and teaching our children of is the ways that Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We're supposed to be teaching them, hey, back in Egypt, we were going through all this stuff, and the Lord came through and helped us out. You know, hey, and then Yahweh Shem Yahushua took us through the different lands, man, and with us all the way. Our people went off, and we fucked up, but the Lord always gave us, the Lord always had mercy upon us and brought us back. And the times that we're in right now, this is what we're supposed to teach our children, man. The times we're in right now, the Heavenly Father had cut us off from even being a people. Going back to Hosea, the Lord said that He hated the princes of Ephraim. He said, I hated them. And time that we in now, because of the sacrifice of Yahweh, now the nation of Israel has an ability to be grafted back in. Going into 1 John 2. Now we have an advocate with the Father and a propitiation for our sins.
This is going back into what it is that we should be teaching our kids. This is Deuteronomy chapter 6, and I'm starting at verse 4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our power is one Lord, and thou shalt love Yahweh thy power with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. And here's the point, verse 7. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. Going into what we should be doing to our kids, molding them into be men of the Lord by teaching them the ways of their forefathers, man. By going like the brother was saying, how the Lord delivered us out of every situation that we were in when it came to these other nations. Right? And even in during the time of the Passover, we're supposed to read what happened in the book of Exodus to us, what happened in the book of Exodus, how the Lord delivered us out of that.
Every year for a memorial to all generations.
There you go.
Yeah. And then with knowing these stories now we better understand how to move in this system. Now we better understand how to move in this society. See, so whenever you teach someone of these things, you're filling them with the knowledge and wisdom and understanding. You're filling them with the spirit of the Lord, man. You know, but it's only on the Heavenly Father to increase it, to make it fruitful or not. You know?
This is Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6. It says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation."
Yeah, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of your times and the strength of your salvation, man. Because the only way to, first off, the beginning of wisdom is to fear the Heavenly Father. Right? You know, and through the fear, now we have the wisdom and knowledge. Now we understand. Hey, the so-called white man is the devil. We're not fucking with him, man. But the other Israelites, man, they're gone with the South. They're being gone with every single wind, man.
Hey, the scripture says a lot. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished.
Yeah.
And there's another scripture where it says, "Go to them that go down to Egypt help," Isaiah 31. And all the Israelites that join unto Esau, y'all going down to his way for help, and y'all forgot the Heavenly Father. Because y'all are not out here, one, studying, all right, and are listening to the men of the Lord, okay? All right, humbly and sincerely, and you're not pushing this doctrine, this 100% truth within your household, so your kids don't know the way to go. So that all they do is go to rely on the so-called white man and his system.
Yeah. And that's why in the book of Jeremiah, the Lord called Israel a slut, and so did, hey, I gotta find that scripture, but
Israel homeborn slaves? That was
basically what the Heavenly Father talking about Israel, like, y'all really a slut. Y'all going to every different doctrine, every other God, and you're enjoying to wander too. And the Lord actually said, like, man, y'all are just like those Amorite women, because they were known for being whores, and then he called us like the Hittite women, because they were known for being whores. The Hittite women were so whorish that Rachel said, Isaac, my life is being straightened because of these hoe ass, because these sluts. They're promiscuous, going to her, you only thing with one man. And so Rachel was like, man, it's better for me to die than be around these bitches. You know, that's a righteous woman. She was like, this woman shit is sluts. But the Lord said, well, look, y'all was around them, and I guess y'all learned from this. So now y'all going to Baal, I'm going to Dagon, Ashdod. And now look at Israel, man. Now you're going to Esau. You know, the ancient world, they went to Babylon and put that hat on, they assimilated. And now right now, our people are all into America's way. Same thing as Hellenization with the Greeks. No new thing under the sun. You put off your culture, now you in America celebrating Christmas. Where the fuck that come from? Now you in America every fucking October 31st. Oh, let's dress up like a ghost. Let's put some fake blood on. We should go be a fucking Pikachu today. Grown ass person. You know what I mean? Where'd you get that from? The red Hebrew Edomites, man. The language, your diet, this upside down diet, everything that they learned from Esau, man. And whenever we preach the words of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, we say this is the good way, walk ye in. They say we shall not walk therein.
So you're going to get destruction out walking that way.
All that shit that's all need to play by Esau. You wouldn't need to bring the fucking Haitian migrants in and you stop oppressing this fucking country. But you see what they're doing? They're fixing people and then bringing up these migrants who are all getting the jab. So what does that look like to you? Hey, you want these thorough people to take your job, take your homes, man? You saw that he's a cunning hunter, man. He's just setting shit up in the long run.
Well, ultimately, he's setting that trap up for himself. By destroying our people, by taking our people and destroying them, all right, he set up a trap for himself to be trapped at the end. So he's setting all these traps up for Jake, not realizing that his foot is the one in the rope's hole, man. You know, he's sitting there setting all these plays, thinking that he's gonna win the game, man. All right, because he looked at the it's like whenever you're taking a test in class back in school, man. All right, you would look at the teacher's cheat sheet for all the answers, man. He thinks he has all the answers, man. You know, little does he know is that the Lord put out a fake cheat sheet for him, man, because he knew that Esau was gonna try to cheat the game. All right, and just going back into our people being destroyed, man. I had this book this precept in Hosea, chapter 4, and verse 6. It says, "My people are destroyed from lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children," which is why the Most High is allowing Esau to even take over you, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. All right. The reason why you at the bottom of the barrel, the reason why you down in the nitty and gritty, man, why you feel like nobody cares for you, why you feel like you have to make a voice for Black Lives Matter, all right, it's because you have forsaken the Most High. Therefore, the Most High is forsaking you, man. All right. He forgot you just like you forgot him. All right. But he left that remnant on the 144,000 men that's going to serve Yahweh to the best of their ability, man. And that is the way we're going to be grafted back in, man.
Right.
You know?
Because we was Gentiles, we was falling after the ways of the world. You know, the Lord was like, hey, go this way. Don't go that way.
The Lord woke us up, man. He gave us that spirit of life back, man. Ezekiel 37, you breathe that breath of life back into us, man, as it was in the beginning. Yeah, man. You know? So our people are down, but the Esau going, even though we went off and we were rightfully judged, all right, by the Most High, Esau still going to be judged for the wickedness that he's committed, man. All right, and that's what Esau trying to say. Well, look, man, they went off. You know, we were only doing what you allowed us to do. You know, which the Most High allowed you to go overboard with everything. That way, he had a reason to punish your ass, man. All right, because all you so-called white people, you Edomites, are going into slavery, man, hardcore slavery. All right, and it's going to be a righteous and true judgment, unlike the way you did us, man. You know?
I had a precept going back into one of y'all talking about how we heard the truth on
Can I get this right quick? This is about basically what he's talking about how Esau's going to get paid back. Galatians 6 and 7, like whatever right quick. So we don't go off topic and then we can go barber shop. This is Galatians 6 and 7. Be not deceived, Yahweh is not mocked, for whatsoever man sows, that shall he also reap.
Esau thinks that the Most High is mocking, man. Like, oh yeah, well what we did to you was just. You know, we did it because your God allowed it, man. We did it because you went on. You know, Esau likes to play the blame game, man. All right, make himself out to be the victim. Well, I was only doing what you let me do. All right, you know, that's right. The Most High allowed you to do what you do, so that way your wickedness will weigh in the balance for an eternity of righteousness, man, and everything will equal out.
Yeah. And then whenever Esau went around killing us, even though Jacob was being wicked, he wasn't doing it like, oh, these guys are murderers, I gotta get them out of here. Or they're adulterers, let me get them out of here. No, he was like, they're adulterers, I'm gonna fuck their wife and fuck their kids. I'm gonna let their dog too. We were all out with it, man. They just started murdering. They would literally, man, tie our bodies with these ropes, man, on our hands, on our legs, and have horses running separate directions. Tear us in half, man.
You can see that on the Levi jeans stuff. But instead of jeans, they were using Gucci. But on the jeans, on the print for the Levi jeans, they got the 200 separated between the pants and the pants in the middle.
And then on Tim's, it's a nigga being hung.
Yeah.
And then all you people talk about, oh, we can't support racist brands. They're all fucking racist. That's how they started. They all started hundreds of years ago. What was they doing hundreds of years ago? Beating niggas up. Yeah, beating up niggas and stickers, man. Yeah. You see, Esau love to shed the blood. He's been murdering, stabbing, shooting, lynching. Well, man, they just throw us in boiling vats, man. All right? Shooting us in the streets like dogs and then saying, oh, we thought he had a gun. In the copy of Great League, you can get comfort to a different place. Now this nigga gets to see a whole new set of scenery, a whole new set of bitches, a whole new town city to explore with the same pay after you murder your kid. And you tell you, I thought it was a gun. Now you in the house with your kid, hey, you know, from a certain angle, you like a gun from a certain angle. Hey, so the Heavenly Father said, hey, since you haven't hated blood, this is going to be Ezekiel 35 and verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. The Most High always tells you why he's doing things. Like Christianity, they tell you, oh, we don't know why God does that. He works in mysterious ways. That's bullshit. The Heavenly Father loves the nation of Israel, man. He's been with us as a father, explaining to us everything since even going back with Adam. Even when Adam messed up, the Lord still said, hey, I'm going to bless you. I'm going to be with you through all this bullshit. Hey, Earth's going to suck now, but I'm going to be with you. I'm gonna help your sea line and your righteous offspring of Jacob. Right. And he always told us why he always explained everything unto us because he cared about us. He didn't tell you different nations. He don't care about you motherfuckers, man. Keep on reading. Ezekiel 35 and 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity and the time that their iniquity had an end.
Hey, can I make a quick point? Where did that perpetual hatred start? All right, it started between Jacob and Esau, man. You know, you can even go further back to Cain and Abel, man. All right, but speaking on Jacob and Esau, because Esau said that for the day my father had, the death of my fathers that had, from the paraphrase, and then I will slay my brother Jacob. Yeah. Look at what's happening to you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Y'all being slayed at a higher number, man. Ultimately for your iniquities against the Lord, but because going into the perpetual hatred that Esau got for you, man.
Yeah. And then going back into Jacob and Esau, man. Surely there's no new thing under the sun. Jacob even told his servants, hey, y'all see him, you call him Lord, bow down, he really likes that shit. And in America, what was it, man? For a long time, it looked like Negroes couldn't look the so-called white man in the eye. And to look down, he was calling you boy, he was saying sir, it basically means Lord. There's no new thing under the sun. You know, and then even going back to Jacob and Esau, man. Okay, the man Esau, when he was doing, whenever we had gone into Egypt, he was going around to all the different nations. The Israelites, man, they talking about everybody gonna bow down to him. They talking about they gonna take everybody's land. And the Pharaoh, oh really? Oh, okay. We got put these boys in slavery. You know, Esau's walking around telling different nations to mission. Even more proof of that. Look at Haman. These people, they've always been weird. They got some really strange laws. They've always been doing that. You know, and so because of that, and the Most High said He wants that issue with you. You've been going around trying your best to get them killed. You've been going around trying your best. You've been lying on them. People have been killing my children, murdering them off of your word. And how was I say you're going to pay for every idle word?
Yeah, man. And then on top of that, man, you loved it. You loved it while you were doing it. And while you were raping us, raping our children, raping our animals, man, cutting the babies out of our pregnant women, doing feeding them to gators, man, you loved it. So because you have loved it, because you have not hated blood, all right, even blood shall pursue you, man. All right, the Lord is going to take vengeance, man. And Jake is too soft, man. Jake is like, no, man, Esau, he repented, he needs to be saved, man. It tells you in Hebrews that Esau found no place of repentance, man. All right, he can't be saved.
Even though Esau did carefully with tears.
Yeah.
So Esau, he cried out, he was like, Lord, he was like, Father, bless me, even bless me also, Father. Esau, hey, how shall I even told you? And the devil believe also in trouble. Motherfuckers, these elite billionaires, you can tell these people, they believe in the Lord, man. These elite, man, why do you think they understand influence and they understand psychology? That's why they always putting up the pentagram. You know, we're only going to promote this dude if he wore the devil horn. Playboy Cardi is a gangster rapper, but he walks out with devil horns and fishnets and nipples all out. That's what the gangster people happen. What happened is that Esau understands that the Lord exists and he wants evil vibration on everybody, man. And when it comes to you sons of God, he wants your vibration and your image to be the image of death. See? Because he understands that the Most High is, they're afraid of the Heavenly Father. And they and the devil believe also in simple. The elites, they're in fear of Yahweh Shai.
This is Numbers 35 and 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defiles the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
That's right. The blood, this land ain't gonna be cleansed And so Esau's blood is spilled, man. You know, so for all the blood that Esau has spilled here by our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, it's not going to be cleansed until the so-called white man is taken down, man.
Yeah, man. And then Edomites and people Edomites people always say that, oh well, it wasn't me. I didn't exist back then. It was my father's. Well, your father's blood lives on through you. You know, George Washington, yeah, he's gone now, but his blood is still here. How is his blood still here? Because he passed down his blood to his children.
I got a precept for that. It's going to be Isaiah 14 and 21. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers.
Yeah, because as it's written in Job, your bones is full of the sins of your youth. You know, and your bones is what's holding your life together. Without your bones and your body just be jealous. So what's holding this whole Edomite system together is the sin of their youth. Their oppression of us. You know, the Most High gonna pay you back for that, man.
That's right.
This is Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is
God, so it says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. All right? They do it. They've been doing this. They can do this shit in their sleep, man. Just taking out Jacob, man. All right, putting on laws that oppress you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, doing everything in their power to keep you down at the bottom, man. All right? And man, you people are going to be destroyed, man. You know, for all your wickedness, for all your iniquity. All right, it don't matter if you're born for, it don't matter if you weren't your forefathers. All right, you're still gonna pay for their sins.
when the morning is light, they practice it.
That's right.
Because
as soon as the sun comes up, man, they're doing things, all right, to keep you Jake at the bottom, man. All right,
Bro, they have literal meetings. The Bilderberg group, the UN and NATO, they come together every year to talk about this world peace shit. Oh, we gotta make society better. Look at the hood. The hood's been in the hoods forever. The reservation is the body of favelas. Meanwhile, man, they're in Israel. They have a whole new Israel project, the Iron Dome, all this shit, all these different Edomite countries. Look how gorgeous Switzerland is. Look how beautiful the Netherlands are, New Zealand, Europe, America. All these Edomite places are fucking gorgeous. But then look at wherever you Israelites is at. Slums, barrios, favelas, reservations, no running water, the woman, no whores. You know what I mean? Everything's dirty, polluted, nothing, destitute of opportunity. What psychology states, Esau psychology states that the leading cause in the violence in young men is lack of opportunity. And what do they do wherever we stay at? They make fucking sure that there's a lack of opportunity.
And they do that by way of what's being propagated on the television, man. Because it's when you're a kid and your parents are always working and doing this, what do they use to keep the kid distracted so they can go there and do what they got to do? The television. Yep, that medium. Yep, that medium. It's a medium. It's a gateway to your mind to keep you below without opportunity, basically. So you can continue to be a so-called nigga, man. All right.
Yeah, the so-called white man wants you so-called Negroes and Latinos in a perpetual state of sin, because they understand that what does it say? That the strength of death is sin. Yeah, the whole reason why we die, why we're going through the pains and sorrows that we're going through is because of the victim in the first place. And the thing that's going on right now, man, is that Satan is requiring more and more sacrifices. The same way how Yahweh required a sacrifice, the Lord required a sacrifice. Same way how the Lord required a sacrifice, Satan required a sacrifice. But what's happening is that Satan is firing more and more, but the Lord's sympathy. Heavenly Father's like, all right, man, Babylon become the cage of every foul creature, hateful bird. Demons been over there tripping. All right, now it's enough. Now it is finished and it is done. And when that happens, man, whenever that seventh trumpet blows, hey, it's gonna be a whole lot of Idumean blood that's gonna flow. It's gonna be complete, man. I have right now.
Yeah, I'm just getting Isaiah 34 back up on what you said, but I know I can hear it.
Let's come back to that.
Okay. Isaiah 34. This is Isaiah 34:1. Come near ye nations to hear, and hearken ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all the things that come forth of it. For the indignation of Yahweh Shem is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He had
For the indignation of Yahweh is upon all armies, man. See, because God's determination is to gather the nations to pour out upon them his indignation and his fury. The Heavenly Father's plan isn't for this virus to go away, and then there's world peace and everybody fucking smokes a joint and holds hands for Tupac. No, that's not gonna happen. The Heavenly Father said his determination is to gather the nations and bring a song of fire and blood to the earth.
Yep. And going into 2 13th chapter, when all the nations of the world and their armies go to fight against Yahushua, what did Ezra say he saw? At the end of basically the breath and the tempest and the wind, all he saw left was nothing but dust and the smell of smoke, man. So all these armies are about to feel the indignation of Yahweh Shah by the hands of Yahweh. That's the Heavenly Father's wrath.
Full of precept, 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 4. But as we were allowed of God to be put in trust with the gospel, even so we speak, not as pleasing men, but God which tried our hearts. You see, and that's a part of the battle that we're in. These people, we tell them that the Most High is going to come and destroy you, man. The judgment is coming. If you don't repent, if you keep on doing that dope, if you keep on doing that shit, the Most High is going to fuck you up. You see, and we're doing it to prove ourselves to the Heavenly Father because men hate us. A logical person will be like, hey, it's probably not smart to go out there and cuss out everybody every weekend. But we're doing this because the Most High trusted us with this gospel, with this good news. Even though we're telling the whole world, hey, bad sound is coming, evil is coming, this is still a gospel. It's still a good news. And we've been put in trust with this.
The Lord said through the foolishness of preaching, through the foolishness of preaching, we shall please him. I'm roughly paraphrasing, man. So even though in the eyes of the world, this is foolishness, in the eyes of the Heavenly Father, this is righteous, man. This is something that we're perfecting our souls, man. All right, the Lord, it says in Revelation that we're making our robes white in the blood of the Lamb, man. And what are our robes, man? Our souls, our spirits, man. We're cleansing our spirits by coming out here and washing the blood off of our heads, man. All right, because we were once in the world, all right, but now the Lord took us out, all right, gave us this ministry, and now we're coming out preaching this good news, all right?
Yeah, and this has been trying our hearts, man. And Jeremiah spoke about how these words were a flame inside of him, man. And
They help them go out there and speak.
So Yahweh Shem outside has put the fire on us already, but as for the 2/3, the same as Noah has to death by pain. Israel has to go through the fire some kind of way, man. For the elect, the Heavenly Father put upon us a spiritual fight. He's been trying our hearts because we're doing the things that are pleasing unto God, not unto men. But as for the people who have been doing the things pleasing unto men to conform to this world, for the people who Israelites, the 2/3, so-called Negroes and Latinos who joined under Esau and became an angel for the so-called white man, whether you believe in LGBT, feminism, all right, atheism, any of that bullshit. If you're telling people to trust the science, if you're telling people, the white man, not all of them are bad. If you're doing that bullshit, the Most High is gonna put that fire on you. Have you feel it, man?
Yeah, ultimately, if you're not serving the Most High, you're against it, no matter what you do, man. Because the Yahweh said, if you're not with me, you're against it.
Yeah, because the gospel tells us that Yahweh is going to return and quench evil outside the earth, man. Quench evil out from the earth, man. Completely obliterated. 2 Ezra 16, it's like 2 Ezra 6:28, man. For evil shall be put out, and the truth and faith shall flourish. And for that to happen, what has to happen? A lot of people got to die. Yahweh has to come back with a sword. Because look at how wicked the earth is. And that's what we're proclaiming. And this is the gospel, man. This is all the good news. That this death and destruction, this polluted life is life full of chaos. This is going to end. The Lord's going to bring an eternal kingdom. Man, Most High told us, I'll wipe away all truth.
I read that Revelation.
Yeah, Revelation 21. The Heavenly Father told us, man, look, you my son. I've been with you since day one. You've been going through all these different pains and tribulations and trials and sorrows. I've been with you since day one. Yahweh said, I am with you always. Yeah. Even to the end of the earth. And where we at right now? In the western society. We're at the end of the earth. So Yahweh is still with us. That's why we have this ministry. That's why we have the truth.
And Revelation 5th chapter, him being that ultimate sacrifice, he opened up the books for us to get that understanding, man. So that to bring us forth out here to push his gospel, to push his ministry, man, to be service like our Lord was. I'm gonna grab this Revelation right quick. This is Revelation 21:1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away.
And that right there, that's not talking about, the earth, the whole earth being destroyed, and then the heaven being tossed out. No, man, it's talking about a new rulership, a new age, man.
Yep. And there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
Yeah, because we're going to be beautiful. We're going to be those new bodies. We're going to get beamed up and be changed in the twinkling of an eye. Everything Esau been working for all these centuries trying to get, all right, the eternal life. They're doing cryogenesis, power. They doing Egyptian shots like Trump BC, Robbie, Captain America and shit. We're going to get all that in the twinkling of an eye. We're going to come down gorgeous. Yep. And we're going to be one with the Lord.
That's right. Verse 3 says, and I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and the Most High himself shall be with them and be their power.
That's talking about Israelite men. That ain't talking about all men of the earth. All right, because really the only way you're considered a man is if you're serving Yahweh Shemel Shai and his ways, man. All right, so it says the tabernacle of the Most High is for the men. All right, meaning us. All right, the men of Yahweh Shemel Shai.
Right.
Yeah, man. And then that woman on the Apostle Common board, there's more women who listen. And man, when the Lord just told you, hey, I dwell with the men. See, the woman, you gotta really learn how to just shut up.
That's why they're gonna be, and they're gonna get destroyed on this side, and then in the kingdom they're gonna be in order.
That's right. Hey, yeah, but on this side, all women are just not good people. They're influenced by Satan. Hey, as for the remnant though, hey, we're gonna be joined as a beautiful bride with Yahweh Shai. Right. As a bride coming down from heaven, and we're gonna be glorious, man. The way that we rule, it's written that eyes have not seen, nor have ears heard.
Hey, you gotta remember what Paul had experienced. He couldn't even utter what it is that he experienced when after he came back from the spirit world, man. After they put him to death.
Yeah, he was like, things I saw is not even lawful for me to utter on the earth. Yeah. I can't even say it on this earth.
It's unexplainable. Basically, that's unexplainable.
Imagine going and getting beaten up like that, seeing some shit, and then coming back down and not even being able to speak about it, man.
Hey, man, what you see?
Oh man, I can't. Man, it looked like this, but it was more like I can't explain. I don't know,
bro. That's why everything in the scripture tells you, oh yeah, it's an angel with the likeness of an eye.
Yep.
Kind of like an eye. Oh yeah, it's the likeness of a tree. It's kind of like a tree. Yep. They say stuff like it's kind of like a rock.
They're trying to explain it to the best of their ability.
It moves like a chicken sometimes, but it also moves like a dragon.
There's a little bit more. Verse 4. And the Most High, which is Yahweh. I'm gonna be loud. And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away.
All that shit gonna be passed away, man. Trans and LGBT bullshit, that's all things in the past. And it's sexual immorality because like in Hebrews 12:16 in the New English translation, it tells you don't be like Esau, who's a fornicator who has sex with people who are not his husband or wife. And that's what's so exciting about it. See, that's not normal. In our culture, people, there was no such thing as a sexuality. Well, this way you can't say anything sexual. Your sexuality was your partner, you know what I mean? And first gonna go back to that. All the former shit, the type of your sexuality, just tell me you're sexual. I said, okay. I don't know that you're a person, I guess. You know what I mean? All that shit means is they're very sexual people. They're fucking perverts, man. Like LGBTU. What's that about? You pushing that about? Such dicks gotta be perverts, man.
LGBT youth? I never heard that shit.
Yeah, bro, they got the drag queens, the live stream.
Yeah.
All that shit, and they actually call it LGBTU. That's pedophilia. That's fucking pedophilia. Man, you even got it, man. It's happened over and over again. Those viral dancing drag queen kids, like a whole bunch of drag queens would go to a little boy and teach him how to be a girl and dance and all that shit. In America, that shit'll go viral. Everybody in the comment boards, we think his true self, which is so great. Oh, there's a whole bunch of 20 old ass niggas next to him with lipstick on, telling him this is how he should be. He's not doing that for himself. You know what I mean? See, things like that, that's gonna be passed away. That's something in this world, man. That's a very dark, disgusting energy. Kingdom of heaven, it's gonna be righteousness flowing, man.
Hey, because it's gonna be righteous because one, according to the Hebrews 8th chapter, right, where it speaks about the new covenant, right? We're gonna have a law, statutes, and commandments put on our inward part. So guess what? There's not gonna be any sin reigning within our immortal bodies, man. All right? We're gonna have the laws written within us, man. All right, you can read that in Ezekiel 36 chapter 2 and Jeremiah 31st chapter. That's righteousness, man. Yep. Yep.
It's gonna be Tobit chapter 13 and verse 14. It says, "Oh, blessed are they which love thee, for they shall rejoice in thy peace. Blessed are they which have been sorrowful for all thy scourges, for they shall rejoice for thee when they have seen all thy glory, and shall be glad forever. Let my soul bless Yahweh, the great King, for Jerusalem shall be built up with sapphires and emeralds and precious stones, thy walls and towers and battlements with pure gold. And the streets of Jerusalem shall be paved with beryl and carbuncle and stones of Ophir. And all her streets shall say, Hallelujah, and they shall praise him, saying, Blessed be Yahweh, that installed it forever." It's the time that we coming into, man. We've been going through different scourges, Egypt captivity, Babylonian captivity, Greek, Roman, Persian. He was unnamed one day, not unnamed, Joel 3. Bro, sub-Saharan slave trade, under Ishmael, all over the place, man. You called niggers, yeah, Babylon. You called niggers, Mexicans, beaners, Hispanics. You call black people. What the fuck is a black person, man? African Americans, two white men, two red motherfuckers. All that stuff, man. Hey, all them stuff. Those who look at all them scourges, man, you endure to stay faithful to the Lord. It's written, happy are you, and glad shall you be whenever it's written in Baruch. It's written in Baruch that he that brought these things upon you shall save you from the same. You know, the Lord is scourging us, but he's also going to beautify us. And what you're going to come to find out is the reason that he scourged us was to prove a point to us, to show us. Because the whole thing is that he's directing us literally as a father with his son. Like, hey man, these streets is hard, ain't they? Yeah.
Ezekiel 37, verse 26. Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them. It shall be an everlasting covenant with them, and I will place them and multiply them, and I will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forevermore. Verse 27. My tabernacle also shall be with them. Yeah, I will be their God, and they shall be my people.
So the Lord said He's gonna make a tabernacle of peace with us, man. Right? He gonna be with us, man. All right. Why? Because we went through the fire, man. We were following after Yahweh Shah to the best of our ability, man. What I read again?
That's Ezekiel 36. 37. Oh yeah, okay. Can you start at 15? Start at 15.
Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 16. Right? 15. The word of the Lord, of the Yahweh Shah, came again to me.
I'll get this to one of the brothers, right?
Verse 15. The word of the Yahweh Shah came again unto me. Say, verse for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions, and join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand.
That's right, because right now we're two nations, man. All right, we're the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, man. All right, but whenever Yahweh Shah comes back, all right, the Lord is going to join us back together as one again, right? Just as we were under King Solomon, all right, and before the fall of King Solomon, man. All right, because beforehand you just had one kingdom and one king that ruled over the whole nation, man. All right, but now you have two. You will really have two kings for the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, man. All right, but the Lord said, take them sticks, all right, and join them unto together once again. All right, so that's what those are the times we're coming into. All right, being joined back together, becoming one nation, one head. All right,
Look, you see it right now, right? I'm from the tribe of Judah. What tribe you from? Yeah. What tribe you from, huh? What tribe you from? It's right in front of you. And you see it right in front of you. You see it right in front of you. You got Southern Kingdom and Northern Kingdom out here doing the work of the Lord. And not only here at this camp, but you got other camps that got the same thing. And then on top of that, because Israel was scattered, you may have an Edomite, a so-called Edom, or a so-called white person, right, that believes on this gospel. Guess what? Through the Spirit, that man's an Israelite. He just looks like one of the other nations because we were scattered. And that man's forefather falls in line with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
because ultimately this thing isn't about color. That's why we say so-called, man. Right? Because the so-called white man termed the term white in 1681, man. All right. Beforehand, what were they known as? Europeans, French, all right, the Germans, Spaniards, man. They were known as actual nations. All right. Then he combined them all together into the term white. All right. And then he called you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, black, Hispanic, all right, just so he could confuse you. He was doing that to cause confusion, all right? But we know who the tribes are, man. All right, based on the Spirit. That's Romans 8:16. Our Spirit bears witness with that Spirit that we are the children of Israel, man.
There's another piece up in there that's try the Spirit by the Spirit.
God, that's right.
Right? So you try that individual by a precept that's within the scriptures, man. Hey, do you eat your meat red? All right, what's the Lord say? What's the scripture say about eating meat that's with blood? You don't do it. If they say yeah, 9 times out of 10, they damn Edomite or they of a different nation. Can you keep going in that out?
Verse 18. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, say, Thou dost not show us what thou meanest by these. Say unto them, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel, his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in my hand.
Right there, you see it. This is the stick right here, man. All right. This is the 12 tribes chart, man. All right. That is what this is speaking about, man. All right, we're coming back to a full nation, man. But everything takes time. Everything takes a process, man. It's not going to happen just like that, man. The Lord's people, specifically the elect, got to be woken up, man. And that's why you see men on our highways and byways speaking 100% truth. Did you have something else? Okay. Go ahead. Keep going. Did you want to go into it or something?
Well, what I was going to say, man, is that we becoming one nation, man.
That's right.
That's why right now you have, what do you have, man? You have black and brown pride. You know, our nation joining together, man. All right, because as we read earlier in the book of Habakkuk, all right, the vision is yet for an appointed time, man. And we already coming into those times, all right, of the nations being joined together, man. That's why whenever you have brothers up here, man, you don't see just so-called black men. Like you see a so-called white man, you see a so-called Mexican man, so-called Latino man, all right, Asian man. You see all types. You're a speckled bird, man. Right. That the Lord is bringing together under one band, which is Yahweh. You know, and then when He takes us out of the heathen nations, takes us out from our enemies, from the hand of our enemies, and puts us back into His hand, it says we're going to be one stick again. All right, one nation again. We're no longer going to be mixing mingles, man.
Right.
All right. Keep it going up.
Verse 20. And the stick whereon thou breadest shall be in thy hand before their eyes.
That's right. they all gonna come and be one nation again, a nation of power once again before their eyes, man. Keep it going.
And say unto them, they'll say, Yahweh shall behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen.
That's right. That's what we just speaking about, man. Because right now we mix among the heathens, man. That's why you see Jacob, all right, dealing with the Edomite, man. That's why here in America, this is a pot of gumbo, man. Everything's in this earth. All right, all the nations you have over there in New York, I believe it's New York, the thing called Chinatown, man. All right, you have Jamaica, New York. Okay, all these nations are mixed and mingled, but the Lord said He was going to take us, all right, from among these heathens. Keep it going.
Whether they be gods, and will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land.
That's right, and we'll bring them into their own land. So we're no longer going to be over there in Mexico, in America, all right, in Europe, in Russia. We ain't going to be in Africa, man. We're going to be in our own land. That's right. The Lord appointed for us, which is what? Which is Israel, Jerusalem.
That's wrong.
That's right. All right, can you start with that? Get Psalm 149. All right, and he speaks about there shall be no breaking in and going out. Go ahead, Abby.
And I will make them one nation in the land over the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all.
That's right. That king is Yahushua.
That's right. Hey, Yahweh is going to be that king, right? But under Yahweh, guess who's going to be? It's going to be King David, man. Okay? It's going to say that too, I believe.
And they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all. Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions. But I will save them out of all their dwellings.
And that's what we want. We want to be saved out of this, man. We want to be saved out of this hellhole. That's why we always on the highways and byways, on the weekends, week in, week out, doing our daily lesson to the best of our ability to bring about that glory of the Lord, man, so we can get out of this place, man.
Because this place is hell, man. This place brings nothing but death and destruction, man. The food is poison. The air you breathe is poison. The water you drink is poison, man.
Hey, the relationship you have with your woman is poison, man. All right, because of the rhetoric that she was fed from the feminism bullshit. Well, there's a scripture I believe in Isaiah where it says, or maybe in Jeremiah, where a woman shall compass a man. All right, these women are ruling over their men, man. These women are ruling over their households because of the rhetoric that Esau, man. This is what we need to be delivered from by the way of Yahweh Shemel Shah. You got it, huh? Keep going.
But I will save them out of all their dwelling places, wherein they have sinned, and will please them. So shall they be my people. I will be their God.
And how's the Lord going to cleanse us, man? All right, by putting the laws, statutes, and commandments in our inward parts. But spiritually, right, you are cleansed, the elect is cleansed by the blood of Yahushua, man. All right? You got it, all right?
And David, my servant, shall be king over them.
There you go, King David, man. He's going to be ruling again, man. And then we know what happened in the time of King David. King David was set up so he was a righteous man. All right, but within the times of King David, there was nothing but war going on. But King David overcame all his enemies, man. All right, so guess what? In the kingdom, like we're overcoming our enemies right now, we're gonna overcome our enemies again, man. Because we're gonna be under a righteous ruler, King David.
Well, how was he overcoming them, man? He was putting them under subjection.
That's right.
You know, the Lord said that we call the tabernacle of David, the house of David, man. And what was the house? Whenever David was king, he wasn't going around just handing out kisses and shit. He was putting these other heathen nations under subjection, man. Which is coming, man. All right, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are soon going to be ruling all you so-called white people. All right, you so-called Elamites, man. Or not so-called Elamites, but you so-called East Indians, man. You Gooks, man. You so-called Chinese, you so-called Japanese, man. We're going to be ruling over you, man. People think that because people know that the end of America is coming. All right, they think Russia's going to be next. They think China's going to be next. What they don't think is that we're going to be next, man. But the Lord going to surprise them by putting you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans at top. Moreover, the elect of those people. willing, Lord willing, we're part of that number. All right, we're gonna be ruling over y'all, man.
That's right.
You know, in righteousness, man. You people are gonna be put under subjection, just as King David went around putting you heathen in subjection, man. Creating pits, right? With spikes, man, making y'all play death games
Yeah.
with no survival, man. And laughing at you. All right, those are the times we're coming into. Complete power, man. Keep it going.
And they all shall have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do them.
That's right. They shall also walk in my judgments, observe my statutes, and do them. All right. So we're gonna be made righteous. We're gonna be made perfect. All right, as it's spoken about in Hebrews 8, man, and also in 1 Corinthians 15. The Lord's gonna write the law, statutes, and commandments into our hearts. That way, we don't have to teach our neighbor who Yahweh or Yahweh Shai is, man. We don't have to teach our neighbor who the Israelites are. We don't have to teach our neighbor what's going on and what the prophecies and so on and so forth. Because in that time, when we're in the kingdom, we're going to be in righteousness, man. We're going to be in rulership. All from the least to the greatest, we're all going to know who Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is, man. We're all going to know who we are, all right? All of us. All right? All that, right? This
This is Psalm 149 and begin at verse 7. To execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people. All right, so this is Psalms chapter 149, verse 4. For Yahweh taketh pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation.
Sorry, the meek shall inherit the earth, man. That's how the Lord is going to beautify us with salvation, man. By inheriting the earth, man. By giving us what it is that in second Ezra, the Ezra talked to the Lord, why hast thou, basically just roughly paraphrasing, why hast thou given what is ours unto the heathen, man? Which is this earth, man. Come on, you got it.
Verse 5. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of power be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand.
Right. Let the high praises of the power be in their mouth, praising Yahweh, and a two-edged sword in their hand. And for what? Keep it going.
Verse 7. To execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people.
That's right. So the Lord said, wait for me, for I will take vengeance. And I was going to take vengeance, man, through his people. All right? We're going to judge the nations, man. We're going to put these heathens under subjection. We're going to take vengeance, all right, upon these heathen whenever the Lord gives us that power, man. All right? Keep it going.
Verse 8. To bind their kings with chains.
To bind their kings with chains, just as they did ours, man. Keep it going.
And their nobles with fetters of iron.
If you don't know what a fetter of iron is, just look it up. You'll see it'll pop up with the slave with the big ass iron shackle on his neck and on his wrist and on his ankles, man. That's what they used to do to us. Now it's coming to the time where we're gonna do it to them, man. Right? And for those of you who are in disagreement with it, you're gonna die, man. All right. Here we go.
Last verse, verse 9. To execute upon them the judgment written, this honor hath all his saints. Praise ye Yahweh.
It's honor, man. As I always say, this is the honorary thing to do in the eyes of Yahweh Shai, is to put our enemies under subjection, man. You got it?
This is Ezekiel chapter 25, verse 12. Thus saith Yahweh power, because that Edom hath dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance and have greatly offended, and to revenge himself upon them. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh power, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom and will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make desolate from I will make it desolate from Teman, all and they that are dated shall fall by the sword. And I will lay vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. And they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to mine according to mine anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith Yahweh power.
That's right, man. They shall know my vengeance, because the Lord is going to do what? He's going to execute judgment upon these heathen, all right, which is everybody on this side right here, all right, the so-called white man, the so-called Arabian, the so-called Chinese, the so-called Japanese, all right, all these heathen are going Negro, Latino, and Native Americans.
That's
and
right.
honorary in the eyes of God, the one whose true name is Yahweh, man. All right? Because you people spread nothing but wickedness and lies and deception upon the planet Earth, man. And then you want to make Jake the face of the wicked, man. Painting all people as a homosexual, transvestites, man. All right? Now you trying to now Esau trying to put the jab inside of our people, man. All right, and ultimately put the RFID chip in them, which is ultimately a symbol of putting his spirit, all right, inside of us, man. He trying to separate us from our power, man, completely. All right? But the Lord had left that remnant, that way that doesn't happen, man. All right?
Go ahead. Going into slavery. This is Isaiah 60:10. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor I have had mercy on thee. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually, they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the fortune of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
That's right, and we know that the only nation that's going to be utterly wasted is going to be who? The nation of Edom, man. So that we know that the nation of Edom is going to have some type of rebellion, right? And that's why the Most High going to cut you off completely, man.
That's right.
Because even though you don't want to serve us, man, you're not going to have any other choice, right? Boys, like you used to call us, right?
Esau the real nigger though, man. You're a real stingy person, man. That's because that's what nigger means, a stingy person. And you so-called white people, y'all are real niggers, okay? All right?
Y'all gonna be called y'all gonna turn into the niggas that spits, man. All right, the wetbacks. Okay, y'all gonna get all types of bywords called, man. All right, and ultimately these other heathen nations, when they come under subjection, all right, they're gonna look at you like, damn, what were you doing? You know, I like these people. You know, even though they're ruling over me, we have an okay life. You know, our air isn't poison, our water isn't poison. You know, we're setting our own lands. You know, but since Esau, what is he doing, man? He's continually stroking this kingdom with wrath, man. You know, taking every juice, all the juice out of it, man. Squeezing the grape until nothing is left. All right.
I got some more.
Go ahead.
This is Isaiah 60:13. The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box together to beautify the place of my sanctuary.
That's right.
And I will make the place of my feet glorious. Hey,
Right,
because
the earth.
the earth, because I can't get off the top of my head. I'm gonna keep going. The sons of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee shall bow down themselves at thy soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of Yahweh, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel.
That's right, man. So these heathen nations, all them that despise us, they're gonna bow down at our feet, and they're gonna kiss our feet, man.
That's right.
All right. They're gonna love it too, because if they don't love it, we gonna crush your heads with our feet, man.
That's right.
All right. That's the type of power that the Lord is gonna give us, man. All right. According to Revelation 2 and whole verse, I believe it's 24 to 25. All right.
There's some more.
Yeah, come on, go ahead.
It says, verse 15, whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through thee, I will make thee an eternal excellency, a joy of many generations.
God. So because our shame was seen and no one wanted to come near us, all right, the Lord is going to make us an eternal excellency that people are going to look at and marvel at, man. They're like, damn, this is the people we were oppressing. This is the people we were putting at the bottom. We should have been at them at the top, man. Because it tells you in the book of Proverbs, when a righteous man rule, all right, when the righteous are in rulership, the people rejoice. But when the wicked man rulership, when the wicked are in rulership, the people mourn, and that's what's going on, man. You know, people are depressed, they're fat, they stink. All right, they don't know left and right. They have no clue what's going on in the world, and if they do, they're panicking. They're buying up all these supplements. They're buying up all these food products, man, the non-perishable products. All right, they're trying to make a way to where they can survive the so-called apocalypse, man. All right, because they're scared, man. they're in mourning. They don't know what's gonna go on. But when the Lord raises us back up, when He puts us back in rulership, like the way it's supposed to be to rule over the earth, He's gonna beautify the place of His feet. The earth is gonna be made glorious again. All right, we gonna the people, at first we're gonna be putting them in hardcore slavery for 1,000 years to rebuild the earth, make it beautiful again. And then after that, man, ultimately we're gonna enjoy our lives, man.
That's right. Hey, and going into Isaiah 60, that whole chapter should be uplifting and edifying to you. Also, that's basically talking about how we're going to be in the kingdom and how things are going to be. But going into Isaiah 60, that's what's coming to us, man. All right, glorification, man, peace, safety, the kings of the earth, building up really how about Shimei kingdom, all right, building up what it is to come, man. That should be motivation, man. That should be uplifting. That should be a faith builder because that's what's coming, man, to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, man.
That's why this is about the gospel of good.
That's right.
Because even though we're preaching the downfall of our enemies, we're preaching the uprising of our people.
That's right.
But the reason why the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans see this as bad news is because they can't save the so-called white man.
Yeah, they can't save their own person, man.
Yeah. Why do you want to save them, man? Just look at the history. This man is obviously not for you. The fact that you want to save him, and that's on you at that point. Even though you lean on the rod of Egypt, that it's a broken rod, man. That's no pierce.
Yeah. I think that's Isaiah 36.
That's why Jake is always butthurt about everything, man. Oh man, I thought this president was gonna do something different. Man, they tell you the same shit every year, and they don't do nothing for you every year.
Hey, but every year it just gets worse for you, so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native American Indians. That's why we on our highways and byways through the Spirit of the Lord, telling y'all to come back into Him, man. Like, if somebody gets 2 Chronicles, the 15th chapter, y'all ain't got no precept for somebody getting 2 Chronicles, the 15th chapter. Yeah, you can bring that up. I can just go back to 2 Chronicles. Yeah, bring that up.
This is Job chapter 20, verse 4. It says, "Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment."
That's right, man. So this kingdom, whenever we get into eternity and we become immortals, they're gonna be like, man, no, that was a short ass time for an eternity of righteousness, for an eternity of peace. And this is nothing, man.
There's scripture also in the New Testament. 2 Chronicles 15 and 13. Yep. There's a scripture also in the New Testament that says, our light affliction is but for a moment. I don't know specifically where it is, but yeah. It's but for a moment, man. So the things that we're going to receive, man, reading Isaiah 60, going into Revelation 21st chapter, the new heaven and new earth, and then us having the law, statutes, commandments in our inward parts, so we will be as gods on the earth, man. Those are the things that we got looking forward to. When y'all got? Yeah. Bob Shop.
Now for a long season, Israel.
I don't think that's it. Let me see.
Second Chronicles, chapter 15, verse 2. Then he went out to meet Asa and said unto him, "Hear ye me, Asa, all Judah and Benjamin. The
So
Lord."
he's talking to the Southern Kings. But this whole message that the brother's about to read is to you whole 12 tribes, man. Keep going, all right?
The Lord is with you. While ye be with him, and ye seek him, he will be found of you. But if ye forsake him, he will forsake you. Verse 3. Now for a long season, Israel has been without its God, and without a teaching priest, and without law.
All right, so we and can you skip down to verse 13, Mama Scott? Yep. Hold on. No. So while we were walking off in the ways of the world, we've been without the ways of Yahweh Shemashah. We've been without what is true righteousness. We've been without what we have been without having faith, man. All right, believing in the idols that the white man has set up. But when you go into reading the scriptures, all right, you see that this is what our Lord looks like, man. Okay, not no damn pale-faced white man. All right, and our people have not been seeking the Lord. They've been seeking what was set up to destroy them, man. Okay, now we in the times of seeking the Lord. Now we in the times of getting to know Yahweh Shem Al Shah. If somebody look at the word seek in the Google definition. Oh, yeah, all right. I got my phone. And when you're seeking something, you get to know what it is, man. You build a relationship, okay? All right? That's what it means to seek, all right? All right, it says, right here, Google says attempt to find, okay? All right, so when you seek something, you're looking for it. And when you're looking for it and when you find it, you get to know what it is that you have found. You have an intimate relationship with it, right? So when you're seeking the Lord, you need to have an intimate relationship with Him, i.e., knowing who He came here to save, right? Knowing what He's coming back to do, and knowing why He's coming back to do it. That's part of that intimate relationship with the Lord, getting to seek the Lord, knowing what it is that's pleasing unto Him, and then to the best of your abilities, going forth out there and practicing what is pleasing unto the Lord. Can you go to keep on? Can you go to Proverbs 13?
13. That whosoever will not seek the Lord, the power of Israel shall be put to death, whether small or great, whether man or woman.
Keep going.
Verse 14. And they swear unto the Lord with a loud voice, and with a shouting, and with trumpets, and with cornets.
All right, yep. So, hey, they said they were going to seek the Lord, but guess what? Israel again fell into mischief because of the people around about them, right? But and within this time, you got men that have sought the Lord and are still seeking the Lord out there on the highways and byways to teach you what it is that you need to know about salvation and who it's for. So the whole point is to seek the Lord so you don't get put to death, man. Because the death, when the Lord puts somebody to death, and the time that we're coming into is going to be by thermonuclear fire, by famine, or by some pestilence and disease when we start going further into Jacob's trouble, man. And Jacob's trouble is right around the corner. It's closer than what it is that you believe. Hey, and then the fire that's coming. If you Google it, a thermonuclear warhead has 100 million degrees Celsius, man. All right, that's hot, man. That's hot. You think opening up the stove and you feeling that heat wave coming from the stove is hot? No, 100 million degrees Celsius is hot, man. Okay, and that's what's gonna be melting this place, man. Did y'all have anything? No, I mean that was it. The 15 and 13, that was the point. Seek the Lord or get put to death, man.
Yeah, kind of, man, because ultimately, we're at the end of this place, man. All right, the Lord is coming back, and He's going to destroy this place with an everlasting destruction, as the brother was saying, with that thermonuclear heat, man. All right, and if you ain't with the truth, you against it, man. All right, let's go ahead and let me see. Get that in Luke. It's going to be the book of Luke. It says, "Those who are not certain, bring them hither and slay them before me."
You got it? I'll find out. It's Luke 19.
Luke 19.
I got you. This is Luke chapter 19, verse 27. But those mine enemies which would not that I should reign over them, bring them hither and slay them before me.
That's right, and that's pretty much what we're saying. All right, in the First Chronicles, man. All right, if you ain't gonna serve Yahweh outside, you're gonna be put to death, man. Right in front of the Lord, man. All right, because this truth, this ministry that we are ministering to is not a joke, man. This isn't a game. This is real life.
Hey, we're
This
gonna
is
die
life
for
and
this.
death, man.
We could possibly die for this, man.
That's right, man. And so you don't want to serve Yahweh outside. Are you gonna be put to death? And you're going for you heathen and you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that don't want to get right, man.
I just want to make a quick point.
Go ahead.
Why would you not want to serve the one that has the power over death instead of serving the one? All right. Well, why would you not want to serve the one that has the control or power over death, but you would serve the one that's killing you? You know what I'm saying? You're serving the so-called white man, but the one that has actual power over death, you refuse to serve him. So when you die, you're gonna die by the hands of your oppressor.
Trust me, that's your fate. The Lord chose that for you. That's your destiny.
That's right. That's your destiny.
You were predestined to go into that. You know, because a lot of you people, man, you were born in vain. All right, if you aren't being saved, and the Lord, and you're not part of the wicked that's ruling the earth, man, you were born in vain. Your whole life was made just to be a background character, man. All right, the ones who are important are going to be the elect, man, and the 1/3 who fervently serve Yahweh outside, man. The ones that don't want to be put to death and don't want to be forsaken, man. You know, because at the end of the day, this place called known as America, it will forsake you, man. Your job, if you miss 3 days due to being sick, you know, they'll fire you. You know, they'll have a talk with you and they'll let you know they gotta let you go, man. And they'll replace you. They'll forsake you, man. You know?
I got a precept.
Go ahead.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 22. Let the multitude perish then, which were born in vain, and let the grape be kept, and my plant for with great labor I have made it perfect.
That's right.
And that grape is the elect, man. All right, because that's.
Hey man, you know that he said, let the multitude perish then that was born in vain, and that grape to be kept, man. That grape is the elect. You know, that's the elect that the Lord works so hard to make sure that we were continuing on the right path, man. You know, that's the That's the Lord showing an example, man. You know, that's an example. We talking about vain things. This nigga doing a vain thing, man. You know, ultimately, man, the Lord, we waiting on the Lord to come back and make these vain people perish and raise up the elect, so we can obtain the kingdom of peace and immortality forever, man. That's what we're waiting for, man. You know. And people are like, oh, that's far-fetched. Really, it's not, man. That's something that can become true.
And it's something that is coming true. Yep. Before a kingdom was brought down, financial ruin happened to it. You had people protesting. All right, that's what's happening now. All right, but when we doing our protesting, we protesting in the spiritual sense, man. We're not out there physically out there with guns and picket signs and all the other nonsense that these days. I'm gonna call them heathens because they act like the heathens are out there doing.
That's what they do, and that's what the Lord called them, man. You know, even if you an Israelite, if you don't conform to these ways, the Lord considers you a heathen.
That's right.
Because you ain't, I mean, you doing what they get to do. You serving these other gods, man. Serving all these false idols from them. You know.
You have free out. I kind of wanted to bring out Psalms 116.
This is Psalms 116, and I'll begin at verse 13. It says, I will take the cup of salvation and call upon the name of Yahweh. I will pay my vows unto the Lord now in the presence of all his people. Precious in the sight of Yahweh is the death of his saints.
Oh, yeah. Go into it. And that's pretty much why I'm out here. I know a lot of these brothers are out here for the same reason, to make our bodies a living sacrifice, whether it be onto salvation or even onto death and receive salvation afterwards. Because the Lord used that as a sacrifice worthy that he will take.
Right. That's the outside with the lamb unto the Most High as a week.
And where the brother was saying that the Lord, the death of the saints was pleasing unto the Lord, man. This is what we out here doing, man. We could be put to death for speaking against America. Treason, all right? That's going to be called terror. I was looking at a news article today in Russia. They sentenced some people to jail and called them extremists because they were Jehovah's Witnesses. What the fuck do you think is going to happen over here in America to us, man?
Man, shit, Biden already, like a few months ago, Biden was already talking about, hey, man, y'all got family members or friends or anything like that are speaking against the government, go ahead and turn them in.
Yeah.
You know, let us know who they are, man.
Yeah.
So don't be surprised when your own family or your friends turn on you because you're a so-called terrorist or a so-called extremist. Man.
Hey, but going into Matthew 10, where the Lord was speaking about he's coming to set a mother against her daughter and a man against his father, that's going into that adversity. That's going into that division. That's going to be a trial for you, okay? All right, to see if you're going to stand stiffly for the Lord, man.
Right,
And the most important thing you can do is pray, man.
Pray.
Yeah, pray and fast, yeah. But with these situations like that, you may not be able to fast, but you will be able to pray.
The Lord loves when you pray unto him, right? You know, if the Lord considers you a righteous man, your prayers are like a good smelling incense.
That's right.
You know? So we gotta pray, we gotta fast, we gotta continue to remain and stand strong in the ways of the Yahweh Shai. Don't be letting nothing sway you, man.
That's right.
All right? Don't be letting nothing take you and be like, oh man, you know, I don't believe in this, I believe in this. Don't be going back and forth, man. No man can serve two masters. You will either hate the one or love the other. You know?
I'm sorry. I thought it was
Psalm 8, verse 7. For the Lord shall endure forever. He has prepared his throne for judgment. Verse 8. And he shall judge the world in righteousness. He shall minister judgment to the people in rightness. The Lord also will be a refuge for the oppressed and refuge in time of trouble.
That's right. He will be a refuge unto the oppressed, a refuge in the time of trouble, man. All right, so the Lord is going to protect those who serve him, man. The Lord is going to take those under his wing who are looking for that shade from the heat, man. You know, those are the only ones that are going to be protected in that day, man. Because martial law, race wars, riots, man, World War III is coming to American soil, man. And for those of you who are unprepared, man, you're going to be taken in. You're going to be taken by that flood. You're going to be taken by that judgment, man. That's why we call watching. We're standing upon our watch, letting these people know. You got people laughing like, oh man, that's never gonna happen to America, man. That's the same thing that people thought in Rome, man. Rome's never gonna fall. And what happened? That shit fell. It got burned to the ground. All right. And this is Rome 2.
2.0.
Yeah. So and the same thing's gonna happen to this place, man. But with thermonuclear fire, man, this is gonna be the last war. This is gonna be the war to end all wars, man.
Right.
The Yahweh Shai is gonna come back, the elect are gonna be raised up, and we're gonna obtain the kingdom for eternity. And the kingdom is never gonna fall or fail, man.
That's right. Did you finish that? I got it. Okay.
Verse 10. And they that know thy name will put their trust in thee. For thou, the Lord, hast not forsaken them that seek thee.
That's right. That's right. Seeking the Lord. Going back into what the brother had read for us earlier. Seeking the Lord, man. Getting to have that intimate relationship with the Lord. Not going into these damn churches talking about you love Jesus Christ and your ass coming out here doing all types of wickedness and abomination, man. That's not showing that you love the Lord. Yeah.
I know.
That's right. Can you get Psalm 15? Psalms what? I'm going to read this because this also goes into trusting in the Lord.
God, this is going to be the book of Psalms chapter 50. I'm going to start at verse 14. It says, offer unto Yahweh thanksgiving and pay thy vows unto the Most High. And call upon me in the day of trouble. I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me.
Hey, the Lord, you call upon him, that means you know the name, right? And you're going to be delivered, man. All right? And what we doing out here now, we giving praise and thanksgiving to the Lord, man, by making that our bodies a living sacrifice, by lifting up his name amongst the heathen, man. Because in the book of Tobit, it says, go make his name known in the just roughly paraphrasing, amongst the heathen, man. Because that's how people are going to know who the Lord is, by what it is that we are saying, and the acts that the Lord is going to do for us on behalf of us being in his ministry, pushing this gospel.
That's right.
I got this specific in it, and I read it close out. This is Psalms 112, and I'm going to get straight to the point. It says, he shall not be afraid of evil tidings. His heart is fixed, trusting in Yahweh Shem Shai.
Right, it's the man of the Lord.
That's right.
And then 1/3.
That's right. His heart is established. He shall not be afraid until he see his desire upon his enemies.
God, man, he shall not be afraid until he sees his desire upon his enemy, man. All right, then the desire that is upon his enemy, all right, is death, destruction, man. Him being put in the ground, man.
That's right.
Us rolling over him, man. You know, that's our desire, man, to see upon our enemy. It's him finally put in the dirt where he belongs, man.
Go back to the cave, you fucking quick cave dwellers.
Man, you ain't even gonna get the opportunity to do that, man. You're gonna be destroyed, all right? The Lord is gonna destroy you with an everlasting destruction, man. You ain't never gonna breathe upon the planet Earth again.
That's right. Oh yeah, Obadiah. Yeah, Obadiah. Yeah.
You're gonna be cut off forever. The mountain of Esau is gonna be no more, man.
That's right.
So y'all better prepare for the so-called white man to be obliterated, all right? For the rest of you heathen nations to be put under subjection. Let me go ahead and say it how it is. It's a slavery.
That's right. Slavery.
That's where you heathen nations are going, man.
That's
If
right.
you don't agree with it, oh well. Okay, the Romans 3:3, man.
That's
with
right.
so with that being said, your brothers got anything else? Anything else? All right, with that being said, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory once again to you.
All right,
double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone of the true elders and apostles of all Israel. All right, so the next time we say Shalom.
Shalom. Kwam Yasharala.
Kwam Yasharala.
That's right. Shalom.